Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County. First, I want to acknowledge that they have switched my deputy. So I want to say he's probably not listening because he's working a field detail. But thanks to Deputy Winston, Whitson, I'm sorry, who has been here for a while with me and has been an excellent deputy. Really enjoyed having him work with us, Team Hayward always. So y'all make sure you say a prayer for his safety as he's on the road. We now have Deputy Castro. Deputy Castro, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome. Welcome to Team Hayward.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the July 8th, 2025 arraignment calendar and the July 8th, 2025 jail calendar for State Court of Clayton County, Georgia, courtroom 304. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward, and this is the jail case calendar. I'm sorry, I'll read the arraignment calendar first. The arraignment calendar. First case on the arraignment calendar is Trisha Edme.
Hi, yes, ma'am.
All right, so Edme, first thing we need, ladies and gentlemen, is everybody's got an iPhone or a Samsung these days. So please rename yourself. Please make sure that you put your first and last name in the block. So you will go to the three blue dots next to where your designation is on the screen. You activate your screen next to where you think you are. Three blue dots, a blue box with three white dots should come up. Click on that, and that should give you a pull down menu. You're looking for rename, and we're going to go ahead and rename ourselves. You should always have your first and last name on the screen if you're in court.
Let me see how. Sorry.
I already did yours.
Okay, thank you. I'm not too tech savvy.
All right. So who's here on behalf of Ms. Edme, Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge, that is me. I have spoken to
Miss Lisa, whoever. Yeah, we need you to mute yourself while you rename. So I'm going to mute you.
And
okay, go ahead, Mr. Lynch.
So we were asking the state to consider her for PTI due to the fact that due to several factors, mostly her record. And I think Mr. Tipton was going to inquire about that. I know he had mentioned, well, I'll let Mr.
Tipton, is this a good PTI candidate? Or are you going to be able to inquire?
Your Honor, I believe this would be a good PTD candidate. The only issue is that because of the nature of the charges, it would need to be signed off on by the Solicitor General himself. So the state's requesting a reset.
Who's the alleged victim in the case?
One moment, Your Honor.
I,
Miss Spouse here.
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so sir, Mr. Edme, you're in violation of your bond conditions because you're not supposed to have contact with the alleged victim in the case, which means that I could revoke your bond and put you back in jail and charge you with additional misdemeanors or felonies.
We had the Zoom last February. Remember, you said that was okay.
I was a little worried. Her bond has been modified, Judge.
Oh, okay.
It's been modified. Yeah.
Your Honor, yeah.
We had a Zoom last year, February. This has been going on for 2 years now. We've been in limbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Judge.
How?
Her bond was modified. She did take the family violence intervention program.
Okay, so she's done that part already?
Yes.
Did she complete?
I did.
Oh.
Right.
Well, Mr. Tipton, I'm amenable to her doing the PTI if possible.
And Your Honor, state, I'm amenable to it as well, but it has to be, but since it's a battery family violence, it has to be signed off on by the Solicitor General for it to enter into PTI.
I got you. How long of a reset do you need to okay that or get that okay?
I should be able to get it okayed within 2 weeks, Your Honor. I would request a 14-day reset.
All right. So Ms. Edme, I know this has been going on for a while. Your bond's been modified. Thank you for reminding me of that. So what we're going to do is, because we want you to have the opportunity to take part in the PTI program or PTD program, what we need you to do is just give us time to verify that it's going to be okay with the Solicitor General, because that's not my program, that's his program. Mr. Lynch, have you informed her of the fees?
No.
I did explain to her that it was gonna cost some money. I don't know if I went over.
Well, let's figure out how much money. It's in the realm of $500, Miss Edmy.
$525 a month.
So start saving.
Is that a
525.
month or how does that?
No, it's a one-time fee. Am I right? Yeah, it's a
Okay.
one-time fee, but just this will give you a little time to put some money aside. Not everybody has that just sitting around.
I know,
So I
yeah.
try and be sensitive of that. So just now that you know what the cost is, I'm going to give you 2 additional weeks while we verify that you can get into the program. Y'all go ahead and start, preparing to get into the program. And then when we come back, we'll be able to get you to know when you're going to sign up. Okay.
Okay, is it like an immediate program? Because I had to come out of town for work because I can't get work in Georgia because of this thing. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now.
Are you a CNA or
No,
LPN
working in the
nurse?
medical, no, sterile processor. I'm in the medical
Okay.
field.
Okay. So they will give you the next sign up class. So it's probably not going to be immediate. They have classes. So when the next group signs up, you'll be available for that next group. Okay. So it should give you some time to know what the timeline is going to be.
Okay, and it can't be done out of town, right?
No, I believe it's in-person classes.
So
But-
about the classes, there may be some options. I'll get that information. I know many of the classes that are assigned, I believe, are virtual.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But there's an
It's-
organization, and so I think there may be an accommodation, but I need to research that.
It's my
Okay.
understanding.
Yeah, if
It is
possible.
possible. Mr. Lynch and Mr. Tipton are going to get together on that and get as much information for you as possible.
Okay. Yes, because also I do dialysis 3 days a week. I don't know if they need to know that as well.
Okay.
And I still work full time after dialysis. So if they could,
Wow.
yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah.
I
So
got
if they
you.
could make that work somehow, virtual would be great. But I don't mind doing the class.
Hopefully you're on a good transplant list if that's what you're in line for. And I heard North Carolina is one of the best because I had
Oh, I heard that too. So I think I might try to get on it down here. Cause yeah, I am trying to get on that. I've been doing dialysis for a year since our last meeting on Zoom.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I said, I hear North Carolina's the place to be for that. I've had 2 friends who have gotten successful kidney transplants through the North Carolina transplant.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good
So,
to know.
Let's make that reset July 29th,
all right.
10 a.m.
So July 29, 10 a.m., same thing. You're going to come by video. We're
Okay.
going to have the information, gentlemen. We're going to have the information, whether she's in the program, make sure I'm correct on the fees for the program and what the requirements are for her. All right. Thank you, Ms. Edmy.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Henry.
All right. Kareem Ali Manuel.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Manuel is on the Zoom call.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, there you are. I got to see you.
Yep.
All right. So, Mr. Manuel, you're charged with carrying a weapon in an unauthorized location, reckless conduct, no weapons, concealed permit, and no permit for a weapon. You're before the court on a 2022 case. I do not see an attorney who is listed on this case. Do you have an attorney? Did you wish to have one appointed to you?
I really want to say I would like to have one appointed if I need one. I am a concealed carry member. I just didn't have my card, but I have it with me that shows I had it at this time.
Okay.
So
you
yeah.
have that information with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Mr. Lynch or Ms. Tortorello, I'm going to appoint Mr. Manuel. Mr. Manuel, what I'm going to ask you to do is, you know how to use the chat function on Zoom?
I do.
Okay, see, young people usually know how to do that. It's us old heads who have to figure it out. So what I want you to do is chat to the courtroom 304. If you chat your information directly to them, Ms. Tortorello is right there to write it down. She's going to contact you either by text or phone. So just give her your first and last name, your phone number, and your email address.
Okay, Your Honor, may I ask one question before we get off? So this happened in November 2020. I've gone to jail twice, once for failure to appear. I didn't know I was summoned to court when this happened in
Right.
2025, and I can't work while this is
I
processed.
got you. That's why I'm getting you Miss Tortorello today. She's going to talk to you today. She's going to talk to Mr. Tipton today. This
Okay,
this usually there is they kind of have a plan for I guess a plea offer for these types of charges, and you have documents that address certain top of the charges. So
correct.
work with Miss Tortorello, and let's see if we can get this resolved today.
I appreciate it very much.
All right, I'm trying to get you there, Mr. Manuel. Like I said, we got a bunch of these older cases. We thought we had cleared the decks after COVID, and then we
Mhm.
got hit with a bunch more from magistrate court, and we are wading through them, trying to make sure that we can get people through these older cases. So we'll go ahead and get you speaking with Ms. Tortorello, and she's going to speak with Mr. Tipton on your behalf, and just be able to show her the documents, okay? Because at some point I
Okay,
might put you in a breakout room with her.
And Mr.
okay.
Manuel, do not log off. Stay on the Zoom call, okay?
Yeah, thanks, Ms. Tortorella.
All right, I will.
All right, Renee McKnight, Ms. McKnight.
Your Honor, she was present, attorney trying to locate her.
Yeah, bless her heart.
She was here this morning. I don't know where she went. Trying to call the number I have.
I got you. I'll hold on the bench warrant for Ms. McKnight. I
Already
know
wanted,
there are issues.
she's already wanted, Judge. That's why we got her scheduled for today to come in and take care of it.
Yeah, bless her heart. All right. Next is Jamal Thomas. Jamal Thomas.
Present in the courtroom, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Thomas, you're charged with no insurance, suspended registration, driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. Have you had the opportunity to speak with, do you have any of the documents that would address this situation, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Everything is valid.
Okay, hold on a second. Now, you have the option of you can represent yourself if you choose to, or I can appoint Mr. Lynch or Ms. Tortorello to represent you. It's up to you. Because you didn't bring a lawyer with you today, did you?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay, so you have the option, if you represent yourself, you'll be able to present to the state all of those documents and see what you can work out with them. If the if you're represented by Mr. Lynch or Ms. Tortorello, they'll negotiate on your behalf for you.
That's Mr. Lynch, that's Ms. Tortorella.
So it's up to you.
Miss Toro.
You they decide who you get, but okay, I'll appoint.
Don't worry. I understand.
All right. All right, sir. So they're gonna help you get this straightened out. Okay, hopefully we can get you out of here today with it done. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So that concludes the arraignment calendar. We'll be going to the jail calendar. I'll give you guys a few minutes.
Your Honor, pardon me, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Tipton?
Could we do a breakout room with my device? Miss, I need to speak with you based on the jail calendar.
Yeah. And
So, you want a breakout room with who and who?
So, Your Honor, I've got my device in here. Mr. Lynch and I are going to both be on my device in the breakout room.
Okay, I got you. I'll be there in a second.
Yeah, so.
All right, Mr. Tipton, you're in the breakout room number 1.
I said Joy went to break while she was supposed to be available.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the jail calendar. I'm gonna call the jail calendar for July 8th, 2025. The first name on the calendar is Barnett, and I understand that Mr. Barnett has 5 cases. 4 of them are with Lister Holton Dennis. One of them is with Miss Zakia Watson Cafe. And Miss Zakia Watson Cafe, since you have the first case, did you want to make an announcement on that case? Okay, she was just here. All right, everybody's just looking at me, so y'all can hear me, right? She was just on, so maybe she got called away. Let me give you all a minute to make announcements on Barnett. Mr. Lynch, did you have an announcement on any of the Barnett cases that you are handling?
Judge, I don't. I want to follow up with Mr. Barnett. He has been pretty reluctant to speak to me. Tried to work through that issue. I wasn't able to speak to him at the jail, but he is in the booth right now. If we could just hold for that announcement.
Okay.
And if we could maybe move on to the next case and go through the calendar, and I think this may be
Sure.
one.
Next on the calendar is Robert Bell IV. That's a petition. Are y'all ready on that?
Your Honor, I think this will be resolved today. I just have to go back to my client.
Okay, no problem. Then Antoine Jamal Brown. Mr. Brown has 2 cases, one of which Lister Holton Dennis is assigned to. The other one, they are not. One's an affray, and the other one is a battery family violence.
If Your Honor would appoint us to the 2022 CR 03473.
I will.
And if that's being done, then he is taking a plea to that one, Your Honor.
All right. For the other cases, he entered a not guilty.
He is, I'm still talking to him about that one, Your Honor.
Okay. The next case the next person on the calendar is Jamal Tayoun Brown.
Judge, I have spoken to Mr. Brown, and I believe potentially his mother is on the Zoom call. There are some concerns. However, I don't think it rises to the level of competency. He's considering the credit for time served offer at this point. But it's taken a minute just due to some of the things we have going on. But I don't know if his mother wants to be heard at this time. I think, is that David?
Well, when we bring out Mr. Brown, I'll hear from his mom. Ms. Brown, just hold on. I'm going through the calendar right now. And then when I actually address the case, I'll go ahead and hear anything that you need to present to the court. Jada Clark, that's a petition.
Yes, Your Honor, we will be stipulating to the violation only and accepting probation's recommendation.
Okay, no problem. All right. Antonio Marquise Jenkins.
Judge, that's going to be a negotiated plea today.
Okay. Warren Scott Messiah.
Judge, I expect that to be a negotiated plea. The only issue is I believe I just waived a preliminary hearing on another a criminal trespass case that's holding him in here. There was in that resolved, but I do believe we'll have a negotiated plea on the case on the calendar today, Judge.
Okay, and the next one, is it Simons or Simmons? Looks
Simmons.
like.
And Judge, that's the case we were just
okay.
out.
Simmons.
Yes,
Have
Judge.
you all spoken with Mr. Simmons?
I did speak to him. I spoke to him last night. He was considering the plea offer, and I haven't followed up with him about that yet. I just wanted to confirm that, but I think there's a good chance it's going to be a negotiated plea today, Judge.
Okay, and you said that there was someone in the courtroom?
Yes, Judge. The alleged victim in the case is in the courtroom, and she does wish to address the court when the court deems it appropriate.
All right, so once I call the case and we're actually dealing with that individual case, then if I need to hear from somebody, I will, and we'll go ahead and take whatever information you need to present to the court at that time. Okay. All right, Jeremy Souter.
I think you skipped.
Who did I skip? Oh, Calvin Smith. I'm sorry.
And you may have also skipped Pounds, which is.
Oh, Messiah. Yeah, Dodrick Pounds.
Dondrick Pounds is a negotiated plea, Judge.
And then Simmons is, we're still talking. Smith,
I believe that's also a negotiated plea, Judge. I did just need to relay one more piece of information to him, but that's gonna, I believe, be resolved today.
okay, and Suter,
Your Honor, that's a negotiated plea.
Xavier Springer,
He's out to bond, Your Honor.
all right, Christopher Eugene Wilcox.
That's a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll get started. Who's up first?
Perhaps start Wilcox.
Your Honor, I want to take up Simmons first.
Are y'all ready on Simmons? If he's not ready, then y'all need to talk.
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I didn't realize that Mr. Simmons wasn't ready yet.
That's true. Judge,
All right, bring out Wilcox.
and maybe we'll do the petitions next.
Okay, I need to.
Oh, you still need to talk to. No, yeah, I need that. Sorry. Right next to me. Everything's that. Talk about. Still ready.
All right, is this Mr. Wilcox?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wilcox, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Wilcox, you're before the court for State of Georgia versus Christopher Eugene Wilcox, 2025 CR 05886 for criminal trespass. You're represented by the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. Mr. Lynch is with you at the podium. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plead to the offense before the court?
He's going to ask the court to accept a no contest plea, Judge.
All right, how old is your client?
21, right? 23. 23, I'm sorry.
All right, so by entering a plea of nolo, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Wilcox?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On June 11th of 2025, officers with the Clayton County Police Department responded to 4181 Williamson, Williamson Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, here in Clayton County, to a domestic disturbance. There it was determined that the defendant before you Mr. Christopher Wilcox did intentionally damage the property of another, that being Blenda, Blenda Wilcox, by punching a hole in a door. Miss Wilcox is Mr. Wilcox's mother. Excuse me, grandmother. Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months served, 27 days credit for time served, balance suspended. Nothing further from the state.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge, we are asking the court to accept the plea as negotiated. This was a situation with Mr. Wilcox's brother. They had gotten into an argument, a confrontation, and I think Mr. Wilcox's anger got the better of him, and that's what led to the property damage happening. Judge, I have spoken to Mr. Wilcox about how this could have gone left even further. And I don't think you'll have this issue from Mr. Wilcox in the future.
Mr. Wilcox, what are you doing with your life, sir? What's going on? Tell me what's going on with your life. You working?
Yes, ma'am.
Where you working?
I work for my cousin right now. It's TRG Logistics.
Okay. What do you do there?
Diesel technician.
Diesel technician? You fix diesel in car? Okay, let me holler at you, Mr. Wilcox, in your ear. Let me talk to you. You know what a valuable skill that is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know how hard it is to find a good diesel mechanic? I know, see, because we just got rid of our diesel vehicle. We used to have a long story. But anyway, you know how hard it is to find a good diesel mechanic and how many jobs are available to a good diesel mechanic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I need you to do is I need you to buckle down, learn everything you possibly can learn about diesel engines and make yourself marketable and stay out of trouble. I get that sometimes brothers get into it, but that don't happen if you have enough money to have your own place. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And you are on your way to having your own home.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
got me?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your goal. You're going to know everything you need to know about diesel mechanics, and then you're going to set yourself up to buy you a house.
Yes, ma'am.
We're clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it don't have to be a palace. It just has to be yours.
You're right. You're right. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. So keep that in mind. Don't let anything else distract you because there are jobs out here for your skill set.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to accept your plea of nolo. I'll send you to 12 months to serve 27 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. And y'all make sure you fix your grandmother's, whatever you broke of your grandmother's, you make sure you fix it. You hear me? And you apologize to her.
I already did.
You already did? Okay, good job. All right. So, all right, Mr. Wilcox, I don't want to see you again because I ain't buying another diesel engine.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, take care.
Go back. That should release you back.
All right.
1 second.
Are they? Yeah.
Who do we have next?
I'm not sure who's coming up, Your Honor, but I do have two announcements for you.
Yes.
The first is regarding Antoine Brown's case ending in 06923.
Yes.
That one will be a plea, Your Honor, negotiated plea.
Okay.
And then on Mr. Robert Bell's case,
Yes.
we will be stipulating to the violation and accepting the probation's recommendation.
All right.
And that's it.
All right. Sounds good. So whoever y'all have next.
Your Honor, we're doing Jenkins next, Mr. Jenkins.
That's fine.
Yes. Oh. Jenkins, Antonio Jenkins, you remember you made me the.
I remember. I'm just trying to recall his name.
Stand right next to me.
Raise your right hand, Mr. Jenkins. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Antonio Marquise Jenkins, you're before the court on 025 CR 06070 for battery count 1, simple battery count 2, and criminal trespass count 3. What does your client plead to the offenses before the court, Mr. Lynch?
Judge, he pleads guilty to count 1, and count 3 will be a guilty plea as well.
I'm sorry, I heard guilty to count 1, count 2 will merge, and count 3 will be a guilty.
Yes, Judge.
All right. By entering pleas of guilty to counts 1 and 3, count 2 will merge. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Mr. Jenkins, do you understand all of these things?
No.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On April 15th of 2025, officers with the Clayton County Police Department were called to 6071 Highway 85, apartment B27 in Riverdale, Georgia, here in Clayton County. There they made contact with the victim in the case, Mr. Ronaldo Lee Kennedy. It was determined that defendant, Mr. Aaron Jenkins, did enter upon the property of Mr. Kennedy and did strike him in the face multiple times, causing bleeding laceration of the eye. The state's recommendation, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 83 days, balance probate, credit for time served, balance probated, anger managed.
Where'd you get the 83 days?
That's oh, I said Jenkins.
Yeah, this is Jenkins. You said you were giving credit for time.
Yeah, he did 83 days.
Right.
Oh, June, I thought he was in since April. Okay, my apologies, Your Honor. I thought he'd been in since April. State's recommendation is going to be 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served, balance probated, anger management, 200 hours of community service. Count 2 will merge into count 1, and count 3 will be concurrent time with count 1.
Okay. Mr. Jenkins, who's Mr. Ronaldo Lee Kennedy?
Judge, I know
Oh.
you asked my client, but if I could just give you a little
Sure, Mr.
basic summary, and then if you need further explanation. So Mr. Kennedy, I believe, is the current partner of his, the mother of his child. From looking at the police report, what happened was Miss Quavodia Smith, that's the mother of his child, was in a dispute with Mr. Kennedy, who was refusing to give back her phone, well, ultimately his his daughter, son's phone, right? His stepson's phone. And so during this, she had my client and let him know what was going on. And he had an issue with what was going on. And that's what prompted him to respond to the location. Yeah, you can speak.
The only reason I went there because she said she was locked out of the house and he was locked in the house with my daughter. I don't know what was going on. Even if I didn't go there, anything could have happened. So that's why.
I got you. Your dad. Probably not the best response, but an understandable response. You're not gonna leave some grown man you ain't comfortable with in the house, locked in the house with your child. I get it. So 12 months, 30 days, credit for time served, balance will be probated for you to take an anger management class and 200 hours of community service. Count 2 will merge. Count 3 is 12 months, 30 days, balance probated to run concurrent with count 1. So what you and the mother of your child are on good terms, is that correct?
Repeat the question, Judge.
You and the mother of your child, Mr. Jenkins, y'all are on pretty good terms?
She's co-parent. Anything she needs for the baby, I get it done.
Okay, so y'all co-parent well. I just always say, make sure you have your legitimation, visitation, custody, all of that worked out. Because a lot of times when another person gets involved, like a new boyfriend, then things start to change with how you communicate with the mother of your child. But if you got something in writing from the court, they can't mess with that. So if you have any concerns, go to Superior Court and get your legitimation, custody, visitation, all that in writing so that you don't have any issues. But I understand. So you're going to meet with probation. Once you have completed your probation requirements, is there any reason he can't become non-reporting?
No, Your Honor, there's no reason. This is his first incident with the police, his first arrest in life.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jenkins, once you get this taken care of, the anger management class and the 200 hours of community service, 200 hours of community service. I mean,
sometimes I, I was focused on another aspect of the plea offer.
Your Honor, the state suspended all fines in exchange for that, Your Honor. We are.
I got you. I got you. It's a lot. I got you. But okay, so once you finish that, Mr. Jenkins, then your probation will be non-report. It'll suspend. So you won't have to keep going to probation. So the quicker you get your anger management done, the quicker you get that community service done. And you can do it, they'll give you guidelines on where you can do it. And I know Hosea helps. Is a big organization that's all over multiple counties, and they need people. So a couple of Saturdays, you knock this out. So, sir, go ahead and get that done. And like I said, this will be termination upon completion. Okay.
Never mind. Termination. Not ask for anything else.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jenkins. Thanks for being a good dad.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate a good dad.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next.
Judge, we're ready to do the petition on, or Ms. Tortorella is ready to do the petition on Bell.
Okay, that's fine.
Sentence.
Robert. Yes, he's in.
Mr. Bell, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Mr. Robert Bell, the fourth, you're before the court on 2022 CR 05833. This is an order petition to, this is the petition to revoke probation. You were before this court for driving under the influence of alcohol. You had a plea on the 9th day of September 2024. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation, 5 months and 14 days remaining. The sentence was told because you disappeared. So they stopped the running of the probated sentence until we could find you. It says here that you failed to report on October 24th, October 31st, November 6th, December 13th, February 4th, February 6th, and within 10 days of February 10th. You last reported on February 5th by phone. You failed to document proof of completing a clinical evaluation. You failed to complete community service. There are 60 hours that the court ordered you to do, and you haven't done any of them, and you failed to pay your $1,095 in arrears. Ms. Tortorello, what's going on with Mr. Bell?
Your Honor, we're stipulating to the violation, and I'm gonna allow my client to advise you about what's been going on with him.
All right, Mr. Bell, what's going on?
Hi, Your Honor. Back in, I think it was November, December, I had got evicted from my house. I had told my probation officer that I was evicted, and you know, we had all this ice and stuff out here in Georgia. I had a car problem. My car actually engine blew. It's a lot of stuff. I started school. I continued school through it. I'm going for my bachelor's in science and business administration. I've been working security at like the Quick Trips and stuff through Centel, and I continue with my job. I ended up losing it a couple months ago, and I tried to just keep everything together, even though it was hard. I had a couple conversations with my probation officer. The address I was staying at, I had to leave because somebody I was trying to give a place to stay that was going through something that needed a place to stay. Me wasn't very happy with it, but I couldn't just let her just, I felt like I needed to help her. And her grandmother passed away actually in Grady in May, a little while before I got arrested. I just been going through a lot, Your Honor, and I just been going through a lot, but I'm still going to school. I still have my job when I get out.
Mr. Bell, if you going through a lot and you can still go to school and still have your job, wouldn't the priority be to make sure you come to probation so you don't get arrested and interrupt all of that?
I know. Well, my understanding was that I already had a warrant and I was coming to jail. So,
well, you had a warrant because you stopped doing any of what I asked you to do. You maintain a school and a job, but you haven't done my community service. You haven't done the clinical evaluation that I asked you to do. You didn't do anything I asked you to do.
I had went and got my my limited license permit.
I don't care about your license, Mr. Bell. You're not hearing me.
Classes.
What I'm saying to you is the list of things I ordered you to do, you have done none of them. You on your own thing. Well, I went back to school and then I got a job and I'm maintaining my job and my school and I understand that things happen. I understand that there's people have bouts of homelessness. I understand that cars go down. I understand all of those things, but then you telling me about rescuing somebody else. Put the life jacket on yourself first, sir. You're the one needed rescuing in this situation. That woman, whatever happened to her, I feel bad for her, but that's as far as it goes. You're the one who needs the rescue. Put the life jacket on yourself. Because you didn't do anything I've said, but you out here being a hero to somebody else.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm very sorry. I had took the classes because that's how I got my license back. I had already took the classes to get my license back, drug treatment, habitual violator, and the DUI class. I had to do them in order to get my license back.
Well, where is the proof?
I thought I had gave her the paperwork, but.
And then you decided that once you gave her the paperwork, you're free to go?
Not at all. It was just going on. I was overwhelmed.
Your Honor, my client has a lot going on in his life and he's ready to move forward with the recommendation of the probation. He does have a baby on the way, so he is
Lord have mercy.
eager to
Ms.
get this.
Tortorello, you new to me. So here's the thing I always say. If your life is screwed up, the last thing you want to do is add a baby to it. I'm not impressed, Mr. Bell. You can barely take care of yourself. You out here trying to juggle homelessness, car broke down, and probation, and you can't think of nothing better to do than to go have you a baby.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I mean, I'm just thinking about all of the things people get themselves into, and then they can't think of no better situation than to bring a baby into this world. That's not a benefit to me. Whenever somebody comes before me and they're in an orange jumpsuit and the first thing out of their mouth is, "Oh, and I'm having a baby, Your Honor," I don't have joy in that situation because you're bringing a baby into struggle. You're bringing a baby into hardship. You can't overcome the hardship you got, but the first thing you can think of is to bring a baby into this world. I need you to do better, Mr. Bell. Condoms are cheaper than child support or child care.
And Your Honor, I believe my client is trying to better his life. He is back at school. I believe it's you said CTU?
CTU.
Yes, so he is trying to better himself and get through life, Your Honor.
What's the recommendation, Ms. Chang?
Morning, Your Honor. The recommendation is that 30 days be revoked, thereafter close the case. Do want to make the court aware that Mr. Bell was in Fulton County Jail from May 24th of this year to June 27th when he was transferred to Clayton County, battery, family violence.
Your Honor, and my understanding is that those charges have been dismissed.
Probably with the woman he having the baby with. All right. You said 30 days and close. Did he do any of the DUI stuff?
I received a certificate for the risk reduction program dated April 26, 2022. The offense was in March of 2022. So
he said he did some of the program requirements to get his license back.
I don't have documentation of the clinical evaluation or any treatment.
No community service, no.
Your Honor, my client said he has done the evaluation.
The whole point, Ms. Tortorello, though, he can say anything he wants to say. Part of the sentence is to show proof of it to probation.
Yeah.
I mean, he can say a lot of stuff. He can say he came in here and he's now having a baby, which has really set me off. But what I asked him to do, he has barely done. And the only reason that we have even the risk reduction is because he was trying to get his license back, not that he was trying to satisfy the requirements of the court. Mr. Bell, look me in my eye when I say to you, I am not happy with your progress. Ms. Chang and Ms. Tortorello have agreed on 30 days. I would give you 90. Because you have not done one blessed thing that I have said, not one. And then you have the temerity to go out and get somebody pregnant in your state of, I can't get myself together, but now I'm going to bring a baby into the world. Get it together, Mr. Tortorello, I got this. I know you want to save him, but that's not your job. He grown. So he going to take this tongue lashing. Mr. Bell, don't bring no more babies into this world until you got your life together. Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Condoms are cheaper than child support or child care.
I always listen to everything you say.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you did, you would have your probation done. You would have your clinical evaluation. You would have any treatment if necessary. Your risk reduction paperwork would have been in line with the order I gave instead of you trying to do something to get your license back. You would have done the community service. If you listen to me, you would have done all those things, and a woman would be pregnant by you because you can't take care of yourself until you can show the court that you don't have all this stuff hanging over you. You have stable housing, you have health care. What if the baby needs a doctor?
I have a place to stay now. I have a job, I go to school. It was a family situation. My family had put me out because they just felt like they wanted to, and I just didn't want to. I just left. I just left. The hard
I
people.
got Mr. Bell. So the agreement between the attorney and Ms. Chang is 30 days. I'm gonna go with what they said. After that, the case will be suspended. Please, 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 I beg you, do not come back before me with some more foolishness because I will remember this. This doesn't make a bit of sense that you're gonna go out and your life is unstable, but the first thing you're gonna do is make a baby. I'm not happy with that at all. And hopefully you will be stable enough by the time this baby gets here. How old are you, sir?
30, 41.
You was gonna lie to me about your age?
Oh, no, I'm just 41. I'm going through a lot of stress right now. I'm 41. I promise
I
you.
guess so, because if at 35, if you got white mutton chops, that's the kind of stress that you probably don't want to add a baby to.
Your Honor, I think my client's just a little nervous.
Yeah, my mother been sticking it to
Let
me.
me tell you something, Mr. Bell. The best thing you can do to make me happy is to be a father, not a baby daddy, a father, the kind who's there when the child is sick, the kind who's there when the mama has to work and you need childcare. They don't have to go to somebody else. You help work that out. The kind where if the child is, when you tuck them in at night, you can tell them bedtime stories and read them books. A father, not a baby daddy. Are we clear?
Absolutely.
Because you're too old to be out here having babies in your 40s without being a present father and co-parent. We clear?
Absolutely right.
All right. That's the best thing you could do for me right now. Defendant shall have 30 days revoked credit since the date of lockup. Balance will be suspended.
Yeah,
Do you have other children, Mr. Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in their lives?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Like I said, the best thing is to be a present father. Don't let that woman have to worry about who's going to walk the floor with her child when she's too exhausted to do so. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. I'm sending over the paperwork, Ms. Chang. You can go back with the sheriff's officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge Hayward.
All right, Mr. Bell. All right, who else? Okay, did Miss Cafe, Miss Watson Cafe come back? Can we get her on the phone if possible?
Antoine Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Your Honor, Antoine Brown is coming up for both his cases.
Okay.
You can ask for it to be called out in next.
She said,
Yeah.
we want to see if we can get,
Well,
Hold on.
and get.
And Your Honor, just another announcement, Mr. Simmons is going to be next after Mr. Antoine Brown.
All right, sounds good. Raise your right hand for me, Mr. Brown. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand out. Mr. Brown, you're before the court on two cases. The first case is 2022 CR 03473. You're represented by the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis. Ms. MJ Tortorello is your attorney, and you're before the court for affray. Ms. Tortorello, what does your client plead to the offense of affray?
He will be pleading nolo.
Okay, by entering, wait a minute. And then on the second case for 2022 CR 06923, you're before the court on battery family violence, count 1, battery, count 2, simple battery, family violence, count 3, simple battery, count 4, and theft by taking, count 5. What does your client plead to the offenses before the court, Ms. Tortorello?
Your Honor, for count 1, battery family violence, he will be pleading guilty. My understanding is counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge, and for theft by taking, that will be a nolo plea.
All right. By entering a plea of nolo or guilty to the two cases, Mr. Brown, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony, to not incriminate yourself. And sir, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, beginning with the affray. On May 25th of 2021, officers with the Clayton County Police Department responded to 563 Briar Hill Court. There they determined the defendant before you, Mr. Antoine Brown, did fight with Mr. Terrence, Terence, Howard, common spelling, in a public place, disturbing the tranquility thereof. The state's recommendation, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 102 days, credit for time served, balance suspended. Mr. Brown has been in the Clayton County custody between his cases for a total of 102 days. That includes his case upstairs in Superior Court, which we are giving him credit towards.
Okay.
With regard to case ending in 6923 on July 1st of 2021, officers with the Clayton County Police Department were dispatched to court to a domestic disturbance. There they made contact with the named victim in this case, Miss Kentralla, Kentralla Robinson, Robinson. It was determined that Mr. Antoine Brown did strike Miss Robinson on or about the face multiple times, causing bleeding cuts on the top of her eye. They were living in the same household at the time of the offense, and during the incident, but after the physical contact was made, he took Miss Robinson's cell phone. The state's recommendation for count 1, Your Honor, is 12 months served, 102 days. I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor, it's going to be 12 months serve 100 for 100 days. balance suspended upon no contact with the victim. And count 5 will be concurrent time with count 1.
All right, Ms. Tortorella.
Yes, Your Honor, if you could please accept the pleas for case number 03473 ending and case number ending in 06923 as negotiated.
All right, so Mr. Brown, let me just, I want to make sure you're clear on my sentence. So on the NOLO plea for a fray, 12 months, 102 days credit since the date of lockup, balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. On the case 2022 CR 06923, guilty on battery, that's 12 months, 102 days credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you have no contact with Kentrella Robinson. Now, let me explain what that means. No contact means absolutely no contact, not through social media, not by phone, not at their workplace of business, place where they live, nothing. If you were to have contact with Ms. Kentrella Robinson, the remainder of your sentence might be, you might be come back to court, and the remainder of your sentence could be served in jail. Are you listening? The remainder of your sentence could be served in jail. You could also be charged with additional misdemeanors or felonies, including the felony of aggravated stalking, which is punishable by up to 10 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both. So please make sure that even if Ms. Robinson contacts you, you're to keep a record of that, but do not respond. Do you understand?
Yes.
If y'all have children together, go through the Superior Court to make sure that any contact that you have is designated by the court. So you will go through the Superior Court for legitimation, visitation, child support, custody, all of those things. Yes, sir, you keep raising your hand. What's up?
Now, right now I just got legitimized because I did butter her out for malice murder in the cab. So she's out on bond for malice murder right now for the cab, and I have my name on the bond. So right now I'm going through custody battles to get my children out of DFAS. So
okay, Mr. Brown, let me explain something to you.
That's the only thing we talk about right now.
But listen to me. I don't want to talk about anything that may have occurred that put you in this situation, but I want you to listen to me. The choices that you make have put you in this situation. I'm not saying that you're guilty of any crimes, but the choices you make that put you in certain situations put you in places where your children are now in DFACS custody instead of with you. Now, if you want to be a present father in their life, you're going to have to get yourself together. You can't keep coming back in an orange jumpsuit. That is not stability for children. That means holding down a job or 2 jobs. That means making sure they have a stable home. That means they're getting up and face wash, teeth brush, going to school every day. That's what stability is for kids. So you trying to get custody of them, that's no badge of honor if you're not going to be there to raise them.
Totally agree.
You got to get all this foolishness worked out. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, they got one, if I heard you correctly, they mama in jail for malice murder and you in jail for whatever you in jail for. Foolishness. Somebody's got to be stability for those children and not the grandmothers. Grandmothers are sick of raising children. Sick of it. We clear?
Yes, ma'am. You're right.
Okay. So I want you, as you are fighting for the custody of your children, I want you to think of, how do I become the father that they need me to be, especially since I might be the only parent that they have for a while. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So you can go back with the sheriff's office.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll bring out Simmons.
All right, Simmons?
Judge, just to kind of, Simmons has not agreed to a plea. However,
Dennis are not guilty.
yes, but Judge, he did want to address the court. I've advised.
Okay, both of these people on the Simmons case want to talk to me. Bring them in, let's talk.
That's kind of what I'm.
That's okay. I can listen.
Just, hey, is Manuel on?
Yes,
Mr. Simmons. So Judge, this is Mr. Simmons. I have advised him that any statements made today are on the record and being recorded and can be used against him. And it is my advice not to make any statements, especially any statements about what allegedly occurred. Judge, at this point, my understanding is we're likely entering a not guilty plea. He hasn't, at this point, we have not accepted any offers. And so I believe what we're going to have to do is enter a not guilty plea. But Mr. Simmons did indicate that contrary to my advice, he wanted to address the court. So I'm going to get
Any concerns?
Judge, Mr. Simmons does suffer from mental health issues. That's not.
Okay. Mr. Simmons, let me remind you that anything you say could have a bad impact on your case going forward, because the prosecution is present and listening to everything you say, and they could use your words against you. Nobody can make you testify or say anything. If you have questions for the court about this process, I'm more than willing to listen. But I really don't want you to say anything about the facts of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. So
Okay, hold on. You are charged with criminal trespass, count 1, public indecency, count 2, simple assault, count 3. All right? So tell me, my understanding is you will be entering a not guilty plea for a later jury trial. Is there anything else you need to talk to me about?
You can answer.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So move him off to the side. So I understand there's someone else who wishes to be heard on this case.
And Judge, I did previously mention we are going to request conflict counsel to be appointed to represent Ms. Davis.
I got you. Okay. So who's this? Miss Davis?
And Your Honor, before you speak to Ms. Davis, the state just wants it on the record that the state was unable to speak to Ms. Davis because of a conflict the state has.
Okay. So Miss Davis, come in front of the computer. All right. So Miss Davis, my understanding is that you have been so upset that they had to take you out of the courtroom. So we're going to calm this way down. If I'm to understand anything that's going on with you, we can't have that. I don't usually need but 1 deputy in my courtroom. Now I have like 5. We're not acting out. We clear?
Yes, I haven't acted out. They just saw my frustration and told me to just step out of the courtroom.
I got you. Well, here's the thing. So you're caught in sort of a quandary because there's a case pending against you, which means usually the victim witness advocates would work with you from the solicitor's office, but they can't because of the conflict. Also, my understanding is you are the victim, allegedly, on the case, because he hasn't been convicted yet, with Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons is entering a not guilty plea, which means at a point in the future, he will be before this court for a trial. Now, I haven't heard anything about his case, but when he is before this court for a trial, you will be summoned to court to speak for the trial. Is there something you need to tell me now? Because you will have your opportunity when his case comes up to speak. But I want to warn you, I don't want you to say anything about your situation or the case that is pending for you. And if there's something that you need me to know about this situation, just understand it is likely that Mr. Simmons will be in jail until his trial. Okay, now what did you need me to know?
First of all, Judge, allow me to speak to the court.
Okay.
I would like for the court to know that this case is far more severe than what is listed. Mr. Simmons undressed himself completely naked outside. As I was driving away, he walked to my vehicle, broke the latch off of my rear door when he could not enter. This is him, all of him doing this was naked, completely stripped. There is, if you could request the security footage from the library where he was
Okay.
at that day and time, it will show. But
All right.
he
So
completely
I get it, ma'am. You think these charges mean this is light stuff. It's not.
No.
I get it.
Vehicle. He approached my vehicle. He tried to rip the handle off the door. He chased me down the street completely naked.
The judge is trying to talk.
I got you. So okay, let me explain. Because sometimes it's just that you don't understand the charges as they sound like criminal trespass. But there's two types of criminal trespass. There's the type of criminal trespass where you tell somebody to get off your property, but there's also the type where somebody damages your property, and they damage your property to the point where it is an actual crime. So that's the type of criminal trespass that we're dealing with. So that's for him allegedly pulling the handle off your car and damaging your vehicle. Okay. All right. And so the public indecency, stripping completely naked, we don't have anything more than public indecency. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna share something with you. When I was a young attorney, I was coming home late at night. It was cold. I remember it. And I was driving. I was so tired. And I looked over at the Shell station right before I get to my house. And there was a gentleman, and you could tell that maybe something was going on. And he stripped naked right there on the street in front of me. And I'm just stunned. I don't know what to do. So like when the light turned green, I drove on. But there are individuals who, I get it, that they're not working with everything that they need to be safe. And so I understand that this is what happened, you're saying happened in this case. So that would cover the public indecency. I get it. Okay. Public indecency is a much broader thing than just taking your clothes off. So I think that covers what you need. Now, what's the next thing?
After the public indecency, this is when the attempted assault became. He chased my vehicle down the street. He tried to enter my vehicle. And I also have footage of him standing there in front of my vehicle, fondling himself.
I got you.
My vehicle, but the attempted assault is when he chased my vehicle down the street naked and when he tried to enter my vehicle. My concern is that I witnessed it. And my concern is that he's coming to the court pretending as if he has some health issue to try to evade the consequence of what he did.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. Because a lot of times, here's the problem. It's because of the mental health crisis in America. A lot of times people who have mental health issues tend to spend more time in jail than less time because we don't have a place to house them. So generally, they will be in jail longer than people who don't have mental health issues because it involves an evaluation process, a treatment process, where they go back and forth to the hospital. So it's not that he's going to avoid or evade anything. He is before this court now. This court takes these things very seriously. I'm not making light of it in any way at all. And these charges, even though people don't understand the whole breadth of the charges, they are charged for what you have described. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is you will receive a subpoena in the mail for when you're to come back to court. Currently Mr. Simmons is in custody. I'm looking at it. It's not likely that he'll be out, but if he is, he'll be under a lot of restrictions. So, and you'll be given notice of that, okay? All right. So I'm not taking this lightly. I'm telling you that I understand. Like I said, young attorney, I'm driving, I see this guy stripped totally naked. Yours went a little further, as you have stated to the court, that he approached you, but I get it, okay?
And I would like the court to know that he was about 2,000 feet from a school as well. There were children in the school as well. So
I got you. The outrage is real. I understand. No problem. I get it. Okay?
how will I be notified because no one has notified me prior to this?
Well, you're here today.
So the subpoena for the court when he has trial.
Yeah, so ma'am, this was the first day you needed to be notified. This is his arraignment. So it's a 2025 case, which means it's a fairly recent case. And this is the arraignment. So this is the first time the case has been before this court. So you actually are right where you need to be. You got the notice that would needed to go out.
Your Honor, may we specially set this case to be first out on August 11th, given the situation that's going on with this case?
Only if he's still an active inmate will that be a consideration. Because we already have cases on that calendar that are set to go out. But if he's an active inmate, yeah, he goes to the top of the list.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So now, all of that, yes.
Get a bond. What are the prerequisites for bond? Because I would.
Well, he would have to pay bond, first of all. And second of all, he would have a no contact provision where he's not to have contact with you or go back to that location. Okay?
I don't have any further questions. Again, thank you for allowing me to speak, Judge.
All right, and it's okay. You are right where you need to be. Like I said, arraignment is the first time this case comes before the trial court where it's going to be resolved. And you are here, so you did get notice. So nobody's ignoring you, but you're in a different situation. Whereas if you didn't have a case pending of your own, the solicitor's office would have the responsibility of keeping you informed of everything. But because they're conflicted out, there has to be sort of an arm's length notice process, okay? All right, so nobody's trying to do anything to keep you from being available for this. It is a different process when you have charges pending and they cannot have contact with you because of that. Now, I want you to consider whether when you come before the court for arraignment, and I may not be your judge, but when you come for the court for arraignment, decide whether you're going to have an attorney. If so, you need to work on that now before your arraignment, whether you're going to get your own attorney or whether you're going to ask the court to appoint one. So just try and think through that, okay? All right. All right. Yes, Mr. Tipton?
First, she will be before you.
I can't, she's going to be before me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Davis, if you're going to be before me, my understanding is we'll have to appoint conflict counsel. So we have a list of attorneys if you want an appointed attorney. But if you bring your own attorney, that's fine. You can choose your own. So those are your options. All right.
I'm confident my case will get dismissed because no one's been in contact for what happened. So, but I'll make sure I do that. Yes, Judge.
All right. All right. So you're free to go. Mr. Simmons is going back to the jail.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Y'all give me a minute. I'll be right back. I'll be right back, Mr. Lynch.
Thank you, Judge. So for Mr.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Your Honor.
Keep rolling.
Who do we have next?
Judge, we can go ahead and do Mr. Messiah,
Okay,
and then we can do Mr. Smith.
okay. Did Miss Watts Cafe come back for Mr. Burnett?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge. Did anyone?
State did not see Ms. Watson.
Does anyone have her information? Because she was on earlier. I saw her.
I think I did get it.
All right, sir, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down.
In Your Honor,
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt the plea colloquy, but in an interest of efficiency, if you could potentially put Ms. Tortorello's device in with Mr. Kareem Manuel, we might be able to have that resolved pretty quickly. And I apologize for the interruption.
All right, Mr. Manuel, Ms. Tortorello, you're in breakout room number 2. All right, Mr. Lynch, this is Mr. Warren Scott Messiah. Mr. Messiah is before the court on 2022 CR 07472 for improper lane change, count 1, defective equipment, count 2, marijuana 1 ounce or less, count 3. What is your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, it's gonna be a no contest plea to count 1, counts 2 and 3 would be null pros pursuant to the agreement.
All right, by entering a plea of nolo to count 1, counts 2 and 3 will be no pros. Mr. Messiah, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf. I can imagine, by entering these pleas, you give up the right to present evidence and testimony to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, factual basis of recommendation, please.
Your Honor, on April 7th of 2022, officers with the Clayton County Police Department did observe the defendant before you, Mr. Messiah, operating a motor vehicle on a roadway that was clearly marked for multiple lanes of travel in a manner that was not as reasonably practicable as a reasonably prudent driver would operate their vehicle in. In doing and operating their vehicle in this way, the vehicle did not stay in a single lane of travel. The state's recommendation is a suspended fine of $100. Nothing further from the state.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Lynch?
No, Judge, we just ask the court accept that recommendation. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Messiah, I'm gonna accept your plea of nolo. Counts 2 and 3 will be no pros, and for count 1, it's a $100 fine suspended. You're free to go at this time, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, who's next?
Thank you, sir. If we could do Calvin Leon Smith next, Judge. Oh, and I do have an announcement on Jamal. I'm sorry, Jamal Tyon Brown.
Okay.
Judge, I would ask for his case to be reset for 1 week. I'm trying to get some type of medication. He did-
Okay, so Mr. Jamal Brown's case will be reset for 1 week. All right, he can go back. We still have a petition on Clark, and we still have Pounds, Smith, Suter.
And I know, so this is Mr. Smith. He's entering a negotiated plea today. Same announcement for Mr. Pounds, which we can go ahead and do him next. And I believe Ms. Tortorello is ready for the petition you mentioned, Ms. Clark.
Right. All right, so Mr. Smith, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hands down. Mr. Calvin Leon Smith, you're before the court on 2025 CR 06005 for criminal trespass, count 1, public indecency, count 2. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Guilty to counts 1 and 2.
By entering a plea of guilty to counts 1 and 2, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things, sir?
Yes,
Judge,
ma'am.
I'm sorry, can I take 1 moment? The no, do not return is something that I didn't properly address. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
All right, Judge, I apologize for that. We are ready to go forward.
All right. Mr. Smith, what is Mr. Smith? He's entered a plea of guilty to counts 1 and 2. All right, so Mr. Tipton, factual basis, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On June 3rd of 2025, officers responded to 7445 Meadows Drive in Riverdale, here in Clayton County, in reference to a disturbance. It was determined that the defendant before you, Mr. Smith, did kick in a door and enter into the room of someone he shared the group home with, Mr. MACUSSBEST, and then mooned him. Your Honor, this the state's recommendation is going to be 12 months to serve 33 days, credit for time served, balance suspended upon no violent or harassing contact with Mr. Best, and count 2 will be concurrent time. Nothing further from the state.
Okay, and what's Mr. Best's first name?
Marcus, MARCUS.
All right, so Mr. Smith, I'm going to accept your pleas of guilty to counts 1 and 2. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 33 days, credit for time served. The balance will be suspended as long as you do not have any contact with Marcus Best. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can go back with the sheriff's office. Count 2 will run concurrent with count 1.
And Your Honor, that was a no violent or harassing contact.
Oh, I'm sorry, no violent or harassing contact.
Thank you, Judge. And I have explained for his purposes, it should be no contact, but just because they may be in the same group home, it's no violent or harassing contact.
I got you. I mean, sometimes after a situation in a group home, they're both not allowed to stay. So, you know. All right, who's next?
Ready for Mr. Pounds?
And Your Honor, I turned in a null pros for, I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas. I turned in a null pros for Mr. Thomas. I believe he's just waiting on the court to sign that.
That's on the arraignment calendar.
OTB, yeah.
OTB. Oh, I'm sorry,
Yes,
Your Honor.
Judge.
It's in my outbox. Let me send you right now.
All right, got it. Thank you. Has Ms. McKnight come into court?
Judge, unfortunately not.
Well, she's already won it. She'll turn up sooner or later. I know, Mr. Lynch, but you know what you're working with, so don't get frustrated.
I know. I just, not that I can predict what the court is going to do in every situation, but I feel this is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But you know, Ms. McKnight, I think she was on my first year on this bench. She was here, so she's a constant. She'll be here. She'll show up eventually. Is this Mr. Pounds? Are you Mr. Pounds?
Yes, Your Honor, this is Mr. Pounds. I'm sorry.
All right, so this is case 2022 CR 06134 for Dondrick Amir Pounds for disorderly conduct. Mr. Pounds, you're represented by the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what does Mr. Pounds plead to the offense before the court?
No contest.
By entering a plea of no, though, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Pounds?
Yes.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, on August 20th of 2021, officers with the Clayton County Police Department were called to 3012 Anvil Block Road in Ellenwood, in a portion of Ellenwood that is within the boundaries of the county. There it was determined, defendant before you, Mr. Dondrick Pounds, did act in a violent or tumultuous manner towards another person in a manner that made such person fear for their safety. The state's recommendation, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time served, balance suspended.
Okay, what is this, a business? What was going on?
Judge, so we are entering a plea at the bank where he banked. The officer indicated in his police report that he was blocking the doorway. From speaking to my client, I mean, I think a large portion of why the officer made the arrest is because my client said an expletive to him on the way out, which is not illegal in and of itself. However, the allegation is that, based on the police report, is that he was disruptive to the business in some way, which was the bank where he was banking. This would certainly be something we would consider taken to a trial. But from speaking to Mr. Pounds, he does feel like it's in his best interest to plead no contest and accept that recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Pounds, yeah, I get the sense that there's way more here than I'm hearing and understanding. Move your money to a bank where you can be respected, sir. I just say, if you a person who bank with a certain bank, if they're not treating you in the way that you should be treated, take all your money and assets and move them to another bank where you can be treated properly. Okay. All right, so I'll accept your plea of nolo, 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time to serve, balance suspended. All right, you can go back with the sheriff's office.
Do I have any more, please?
All right, so the last cases I have are Suter, Clark, and Barnett. Let's do Clark if we can, so we can get Ms. Chang to doing other stuff. Barnett, I still can't move forward because the attorney on his first case is not here, and I know y'all are trying to do a global. If Barnett is not ready for a plea at this time, then we can go ahead and move him to another calendar. But I didn't want to waste time.
He's still not willing to.
Okay, then that he'll maintain his current pleas.
Oh.
So we'll reset Barnett.
Judge, this is Miss Clark. If I may, though, well, actually, you know, I think I can handle this.
Ms. Val, if we can reset Barnett, let's give it some time. So a little further out than 7/29.
Yeah. We can do August 19th if you like.
Yeah, that works. Because then that way everybody can get all the ducks in a row. If they want an earlier plea, that's fine. But yeah, for now, it doesn't seem like everything is together. All right, Ms. Clark, Mr. Lynch, are you ready on Clark, or did you need to speak with her again?
We're ready because my understanding is she's accepting the recommendation. I'm texting MJ just in case. But I think we're ready to go forward, stipulate and accept the recommendation from the probation office.
All right. So Ms. Clark, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court for a petition for revocation. State of Georgia versus Jada Clark, 2024 CR 07413. You were before this court for simple battery, obstructing an officer, theft of services, all on the 17th day of September 2024, and sentenced to 12 months. You have 2 months and 2 days remaining, and this is your second hearing. So it says that you failed to avoid injurious and vicious habits, that you tested positive for the metabolites of alcohol, you failed to comply with counseling, you failed to document proof of attending an ASAM level 1 short-term substance abuse treatment program. You documented 1 session as of May 6th. You failed to attend AA or NA community support group meetings. That was documented for 1 community support group meeting per week. The last date that you attended was June 4th, 2025, and you failed to pay your $1,550 in arrears. All right, so Ms. Tortorello.
Your Honor, if I may, my client advised that she has proof of some of the classes that she has completed.
Okay.
Of the ones that, some of them that were mentioned that are showing that she did not complete. Okay. But she has proof that she's completed that, and she can provide that to Ms. Chang.
Okay. Which ones did you complete, ma'am?
I was supposed to go to check in tomorrow for probation, so I planned on bringing. I just finished my substance abuse, which was a 6-week course. I just completed my last session last Monday, and that was through Diana. What happened to right now? Okay. That was through Diana. And I've also did my AA, as I have proof of all my, I'm supposed to attend once a week for AA. I have my documentation for that as well. I printed it out for Ms. Chang. But as I said, I didn't get a chance to check in on the 9th and bring her those documentations for the month.
All right, let's talk about the alcohol. Why were we drinking again? Or have we not stopped? What's going on?
Just me and my baby daddy was going through it. He ripped out my hair and stuff like that. So
okay, stop right there. Stop. Okay. Let's talk. So if this is the situation you have with the father of your child, are y'all gonna stay together? Is it your intention to keep going through this?
No, ma'am, we actually are done. I just said, look, if we can co-parent, because I'm 6 months. So I told him if we can co-parent effectively, then that'll work. I don't want no child support. I shouldn't have to beg nobody.
Okay, first of all, let's not say crazy stuff. That money is child support is not yours. That's for the child. Are
No.
you currently have a child, is what you're saying,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're pregnant with another child.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Miss Clark, let's talk about a few things. Until your life is stable, let's stop bringing babies into the world. Okay, the baby you got coming is going to be more than enough, especially since the baby you already have. You got to get your life together. You know, condoms are cheaper than child support or child care, and I'm serious about that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do what adults do, but you don't have to make a baby every time you do it.
Yes.
We clear? Because when you bring babies into this world, and like right now, you in jail with a 6-month-old, that is not the safest. You 6 months pregnant in jail, that's not safe in there. Number one, and number two, where's your baby? The one you already have.
With my mom.
Okay, and that's another thing. Mamas and grandmamas, we sick of y'all's children. I'm gonna just be honest with you. We don't want to raise them. We have raised our own children. People who are grandmothers want to be going on cruises with their girlfriends or church trips. Like my aunt just went to Turkey. So what I'm telling you is stop bringing babies into this world and knowing your life is unstable. And if something happens with you, the grandmama is going to have to raise that child or even keep them temporarily while you're here in jail. She don't want to do that. She probably still working.
Yes.
Okay, so grandmama's getting younger and younger, and we still working. We still trying to have a life. We out here doing boots on the ground. We don't have time for your baby.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, it's funny, but it's not because she's stressing over your child while you and your baby daddy getting into foolishness. Get your life together while you take some time and start thinking of your plan. What is it you can do to make sure that your life is stable? Do you do hair? Do you do nails? Do you clean real well? Because man, people looking for housekeepers. Do you, whatever it is you can do to make yourself stable and bring money and stability to your life. Do that. But please, ma'am, don't just keep bringing babies that you can't take care of, and then that your mama got to take care of, and then you say proudly with your chest, "Well, my baby's with my mama." Your mama's tired.
Yes,
Okay, think about if you in your home and somebody comes and they drop off 3 kids with you and say, "I'll be back sometime, I don't know when." Imagine how you would react. Say your friend drop off her kids at your house and then she just go away. You'd be hot, mad, ready to call defects, wouldn't you?
Probably, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then stop doing that to your mom. Stop. And you can't drink and have a stable, you can't drink with a baby. Whatever, let me tell you something. I'm gonna just be honest with you. How old are you?
28.
Okay, so when I see young people who are alcoholics, it is usually a response to trauma. Something happened to you at a younger age that you haven't been able to deal with, or bereavement. Somebody very, very important to you passed away and you haven't been able to deal with it. Whatever it is, you have counseling. The counselor, you're assigned to the counselor. Talk to them about it. They're not going to spread your business because there's a confidentiality that comes with the profession. But you have got to start talking your way through whatever that trauma was, because drinking is not going to fix it. It may help you forget temporarily, but it's not going to fix it long term. You got me?
Yeah.
And if you're going to bring babies into this world, you need to be the best you that you can be. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, what's the recommendation, Ms. Chang?
Your Honor, probation is that 6 days be revoked, credit for time served, and continue on probation for the balance of the sentence under the same conditions.
All right. So Ms. Clark, Ms. Chang is willing to have you back. That's a big thing. Because I don't like stressing Miss Chang. If she says she don't want you back, I listen. So she's saying you're gonna come back to probation. What I want you to do is to take it seriously. You understand?
Your Honor, may the state be heard?
Yes, the state may be heard.
Ms. Chang, how long does this young lady have left on probation?
2 months and 2 days remaining.
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to add an additional community support group meeting a week, just to make sure that she's getting the support she needs, given that, as Your Honor stated, in so many cases like this, with younger folks with substance abuse issues, there tends to be an underlying trauma. So I'd like to address that trauma.
All right. Miss Clark, talk to me about what is going on in your life. Are you working?
I am. I do have my own cleaning business. I was dancing before I got pregnant, and I'm doing pretty well. I was a manager at this fast food place, but I decided to stop working it because I like doing things on my own. So I'm making pretty good, decent amount of money. I actually planned on, I'm going through, what do you call it? Like I think it's called Grace Point or something. I talked to my OBGYN and she got me scheduled with one of the therapists at the main headquarters at their center. So
Good.
I kind of told her about what I had going on and
Good.
did my own internal research. So me and her are working together. I think I have an appointment on the 14th of this month. So I'm supposed to be scheduled, talk to the lady. I do my intake and she sees where, you know, what I need to work on, what I need to do, what kind of classes, you know. So this would be my first step. I did it on my own because I knew I had a little bit of a problem and I wanted to fix it myself. So yes, ma'am. I did the research and everything. I just got to get out to go get there. So.
All right. Anything, Ms. Tortorello?
Nothing. Hold on a second.
Mr. Tipton, she's been proactive in getting counseling through her OBGYN. So I'm going to let that serve as the additional community support. I'm going to let her continue with probation with with what has already been ordered. But she's going to test at each report.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Then I have nothing further.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, now, Ms. Clark, it at this point, it would generally be, I would generally say, you got to do all this for yourself. And you do. But at this point, you also have babies. And those babies need stability. And they need to know that there's somebody who believes that they are the most important thing in the world and is going to fiercely protect them. And so now you got to do it not just for you, but for these babies, okay?
Yeah.
And please remember, every time you look at a bottle, a beer, a wine, remember that's going to take you away from your babies.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for being proactive about getting the counseling and sharing that information with your OBGYN so you could get the counseling. But go and just work through it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Ms. Clark, I want those babies to be healthy, but I want you to be healthy too. I'm going to return you to probation and you're going to continue and complete all special conditions of probation. You'll receive credit for time served for 6 days, revoked, and then you're going to test at each report. All right?
Yes, ma'am. When is the next time do I have to come in? Because I was supposed to check in tomorrow.
Okay, Ms. Chang.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Clark, if you'll report on Tuesday, July 15th at 2 p.m.
So Ms. Chang's going to give you a week to kind of get back together, okay? All right. So Ms. Clark, please take care of yourself, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Your Honor, that's all I have this afternoon. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Chang. All right.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
Souter and the Barnett cases, we've reset Barnett to August 19th. We got to find this Watson Cafe and figure out why we kind of don't have a good stable relationship with that. And then Mr. Manuel from the, Miss McKnight is already wanted, so that'll continue. She'll come in eventually. She'll be in the jail and we'll catch up with her. Mr. Manuel, is there an announcement?
For Mr. Manuel, we're still talking.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Manuel, you all are talking. Are we ready on Suter, or do you all need a few minutes?
Ready on Suter, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and as soon as we're finished, I'll be signing everything.
Yes, so. Pretty good once I saw you guys read the paperwork. But I don't know if you signed it yet.
Are we ready? I've been waiting for Suitor or Manuel or announcement on Manuel.
Mr. Manuel's case, Your Honor, it'll be a negotiated plea.
Okay.
And then we're ready on Suitor, so whichever Your Honor would prefer to.
I'll be quiet.
We can do Manuel first, Your Honor.
Either one is fine with me.
He wants to leave. He wants to get out of you. Oh, guess Mr. Suitor's out, Your Honor, so I guess we'll do him first.
Okay, that's fine.
Never mind, that's Mr. Brown.
I'm here if you guys need Mr. Kareem Manuel.
Yeah, Miss Manuel, I'm with you. Unfortunately, somebody's got to be last, and that might be you today, but I appreciate you. We'll get you out of here quickly. All right,
Okay.
Mr. Suitor, raise your right hand for me.
That's Mr. Brown. They brought Mr. Brown out for.
Okay, I thought Mr. Brown was going to be a reset. Am I missing something?
I think you're right, Your Honor. I'm not sure why they brought him out.
Your Honor, I believe you announced that you wanted to let Mr. Brown know what was going on with this case earlier.
I did not, but that's okay. Mr. Brown, so my understanding, sir, is I probably said I wanted to know what was going on with Mr. Brown's case. Mr. Brown, you're Mr. Jamal Brown, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Mr. Jamal Brown, my understanding is they're still working on some things for your case. They're going to give you a week for them to get everything in a row, and maybe have some contact with with your mom or with someone else to make sure that they have all the information necessary. So we're going to send you back, and then we'll see you next week, and then hopefully we can resolve everything and get your case resolved at that point. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes.
so I had sent back some inmates from the other courtroom earlier, and I guess
Mr.
Mr. Suitor went down with them, so we're getting him back up now.
Okay, Manuel then.
I mean, that's what it's like for, have you made it yet? Yeah, that's the part. That's what I mean.
And we're ready, Your Honor, whenever you are.
I'm ready. I just I'm ready. So, Mr. Manuel, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Kareem Ali Manuel 2022 CR 03826 for unauthorized weapon count 1, reckless conduct count 2, weapon carry concealed count 3, and no permit count 4. Ms. Tortorello from the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis is representing you. Ms. Tortorello, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court?
Yes, Your Honor. For count 1, my client is pleading guilty under the First Offender Act.
Okay.
My understanding is count 2 and 3 will be null prost. And
Okay.
count 4 will merge with count 1.
I'm sorry, count 4 will what?
Merge with count 1.
Okay. All right. So, sir, by entering, raise your right hand for me. I'm sorry. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
I affirm.
All right. You can put your hand down. Did you have a question before we get started?
No, it did that automatically reading my hand being up.
Okay, no problem. All right. So you're entering a plea of guilty under the first offender statute. If you successfully complete the first offender sentence, then this will not appear as a conviction on your record. So we want to make sure we successfully complete all of the conditions. By entering the plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things?
I do.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On November 17th of 2020, officers with the Atlanta Police Department operating in Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in a portion of Atlanta that is within the boundaries of Clayton County were alerted by a TSA officer that a bag that was owned by Mr. Kareem Manuel, the defendant for you, had in it a black Smith & Wesson handgun, serial number N as in Nancy, J as in James, C as in Charlie, K as in Kilo, 3698. It was housed with, it was in the bag with 2 magazines, totaling 14 rounds of ammunition and 1 round in the chamber. State's recommendation, Your Honor, is for count 1, 12 months probation, a $300 fine, a weapons safety course, forfeit the weapon. Again, that is a black Smith & Wesson pistol, serial number N as in Nancy, J as in James, C as in Charlie, K as in Kilo, 3698, and 40 hours of community service. Probation shall terminate upon completion. This all did occur at a commercial airport, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Manuel, you know, things are getting more stringent when it comes to safety. Please make sure you check your bags. I still don't know how people get to the airport with a gun, because I empty my bag every time I go somewhere to refill it. And it has happened. I get it. It's happened for several people. But just make sure, because see, to me, the most important part is not that you're at the airport with the gun, it's that you're unaware of where your gun might be. And so you always want to know, for safety purposes, that where your gun is and that it is secure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to accept your plea under the first offender statute, sentence you to 12 months to serve. Balance will be 12 months. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $300. That'll be $444 with the surcharges. I always like to tell people so they don't have sticker shock. And then you'll take a weapon safety course, forfeit the weapon that was named and described, and 40 hours of community service. And upon completion of all of those things through probation, then you will your probation will terminate. Now, what I'm going to do is put you in a breakout room with Ms. James, who is our probation expert. She's going to explain everything that you need. Are you in the state of Georgia?
I am. I'm in
Okay.
Atlanta.
All right. And then I asked that just because for ease of making sure that I address everything I need to address for probation.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Before Mr. Manuel goes to breakout room with probation, it states that they have to be under probation for 12 months. I just don't want that to kind of confuse things for him. If he's able to.
I can suspend it. It'll still be a probation sentence, but if I can make it non-reporting.
Yes, please. And
All right.
the fees to be waived.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have, because you work, you haven't been able to work because of this?
At all. And it's so
I got you.
disappointing.
All right, so 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $300. Probation supervision fees will be waived. Weapon safety course, forfeit the weapon, 40 hours of community service, and this will become non-reporting upon completion of all of the special conditions of probation and everything named. It is a special. All right, so I'm going to put you in the breakout room. You do not have to come back to this main room. If you have any questions, just contact Ms. Tortorello or the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis, okay?
Okay.
All right, so Miss James, I'm going to put you in breakout room number 6. Mr. Manuel, I'm going to put you in breakout room number 6. And thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, take care, sir. All right, and the last one is Mr. Suter. And as soon as he comes up, y'all let me know and we'll go ahead and take care of his case.
Yes, Your Honor, I just heard from the deputy between 5 and 10 minutes that he'll be up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your Honor, Mr. Jeremy Suter has been brought up. Whenever you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. All right, Mr. Is it Suter or Souter? Mr. Souter, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Jeremy Souter, 2025 CR 05896, pedestrian in the roadway and obstruction of an officer. Ms. Tortorello is your attorney and she's with you at the podium. Ms. Tortorello, what does Mr. Souter plead to the offenses before the court?
Yes, Your Honor. For count one, he's going to be pleading nolo. And then my understanding is count two will be no prost.
All right, but by entering a plea of nolo to count one, count two will be no prost. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes.
Okay, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Your Honor, on June 10th of 2025, officers with the Clayton County Police Department observed the defendant before you, Mr. Jeremy Souter, standing in the middle of the roadway of Terra Boulevard near its intersection with Old Dixie Road here in Clayton County, yelling at vehicles as they were driving by. State's recommendation, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time served, balance suspended upon no new violations of law.
All right, Mr. Souter, I'm going to accept your plea. Count one is nolo, count two will be no pros, 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time served, balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, do we have anything else? I'm already signing, so I'll continue to do that. And thank you all.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. See you tomorrow.
Take care.